Welcome, Taurian family members, and welcome to my YouTube channel, One Who Sees Tarot. This is going to be a general reading for Taurus family members for the month of September 2017. This is a middle of the month reading for the dates September the 15th through the 30th. And Taurus family members, the first thing I want to make sure that I mention is the new moon that is happening on the 20th, and that's going to be happening in the sign of Libra. So those of you that are interested in learning more about it, please consult with an astrologer. But I will say this, Libra is the sign that deals with balance and relationships, and so there's going to be some new energy as far as relationships and balance and negotiation is concerned, and that's going to be for all of the 12 zodiac signs. But nonetheless, let us move forward, Taurian family members, if you'd be so kind. The spirit has already been invoked and the cards have been anointed, shuffled, and cut according to the directions given to me by the spirit guide. And I always give recognition to the spirit guide first, because I always want to make sure that I'm clear and that I am focused, and I want to make sure that you understand as my listening audience that my cards are governed by a spirit. And so, Taurus family members, with your kind permission, I would like to begin your reading for the middle of the month of September 2017. Taurian family members, right smack dab in the middle of your reading, right in the center, some of you are dealing with a legal issue, government issue, official issue, something that involves the government and its sources, etc. And I want to tell you that this legal, governmental, official issue is going to work out in your behalf. During this time cycle, it's a very, very good time for any legal matters, any government matters, any official matters for you. In fact, some of you are coming from a very, very good place as far as opportunity and as far as stability and kind of like overall generic healthy and happiness. I do see that as part of your energy, and that's kind of like where you started out, or where you're starting this particular bi-weekly or two weeks this cycle. I do see that. And Taurian family members, some of you might be advised to enjoy a road trip. This might be a very, very good time for you to take a road trip. And actually, this legal issue might involve a road trip. Maybe some of you are going someplace in a car or going someplace to settle a legal matter. And so I do see that. I'm not talking about driving downtown from where you live. I'm talking about going from one state to another or something like that. But there certainly is a road trip, and the road trip is going to be a very healthy and successful and positive and happy road trip for some of you. Taurian family members, there is certainly a number of energies or a number of cards expressing some energies about breakup, and the breakup really is leaning more towards the masculine energy. So I shall then say that I'm probably speaking to a lot of my Taurian family members who are females, because this masculine energy is going in a different direction, and it's showing up in 2 or 3 places in your reading. And so that is something, and it's a structural change. I do see that. I see that it might land, or it might end up as a friendship. You might not be lovers, but you might be able to be friends, and things might work out on that behalf. I do see where there's going to be emotional wholeness. So I shall assume then that by looking at the emotional wholeness and the position of this particular card, which is called the Moon card, I shall assume that this breakup or this change in relationship is not going to be for the worst, I would say, and it probably is some salvation as far as saving some friendship aspects of the relationship. And Taurian family members, part of the reason why there is going to be that change in relationship, part of it has to do with you kind of like deciding, you kind of like got up, and you decided that you're seeing things clearly. And your reading is interestingly similar to Aries, because Aries also is experiencing some energies similar to this. But yours is a matter of seeing things clearly. So you're seeing things clearly, you know what you want, and your part of your destiny path is to be married and have that stable family structure. It is part of your destiny path. But a lot of what we're looking at as far as Taurian and Taurian energies for this cycle, a lot of it has to do with you seeing things clearly and being able to sort of like discern what's real and what's not real. And some of you are going to make some choices, most certainly, and those choices have a lot to do with breakup or rearrangement of relationship. And now I'm looking at another area of your spread, and I'm looking at where the masculine energy Taurians are also getting ready to deal with some type of a rearrangement in relationships. And a lot of it has to do with the mind. Like, in other words, this party that both male and females are dealing with, both genders. There's been a lot of messing with your head. And so you're getting ready to make some changes about that. And some of you are dealing with a relationship that had some infidelity involved in it as well. And that's coming to an end. Some of you are in a waiting cycle, and I want to talk to you about that for one moment before we close out today. Taurian family members, sometimes we have to wait for things to work out for us in the universe. Sometimes we might have a tendency as human beings to rush ahead of our destiny. And the Spirit is showing me a card saying this is a waiting time for you. This is kind of like, for some of you that I'm talking to, and I know that I'm talking to you because I can actually sense the clarity in the spiritual vibrations. There is a waiting cycle that you're in right now, and you're going to have to finish out the waiting cycle. And some of you are dealing with some time and energy where you are alone, and I don't see it as alone and lonely. I don't see it that way. I don't see it as a negative alone. I see it as being alone but not lonely. You are alone, and this is a good time for you because it gives you some time to sort of recharge your spiritual and your emotional batteries and to get ready to move forward with your life. But there is, as I said, there is marriage and that kind of solid structure relationship as part of your destiny path. But right now, most of you are going through this change, this kind of a breakup, kind of a rearrangement of the parameters of the relationship. And so I see that as your mid-monthly energies. I don't see any problems. Well, I do see a small area kind of indicating a need for you to pamper yourself, but it's not necessarily a money problem. I do, though, need to give you a caveat, and that is to watch your savings and your resources, because I don't see money coming, but I do see your savings kind of being depleted. And so with regard to this savings being depleted, it could be emotional resources as well being depleted. And the energies that will save you and will help you get prepared for the next phase of your lifetime and cycle is your spiritual energy, and that's very, very prominent. So spiritual energies, time to sit still, time to get to yourself, certainly time to think things through, work on getting some mental clarity, and that pretty much is the cycle, this next 2 or 3 week cycle for Taurian family members. I have placed my email on the bottom of the screen during this video, so those of you that would like to book a private reading, the information is there. But Taurian family members, I wish you the best during this cycle, and I think you're going to be fine. I think there is certainly going to be some changes for you, but I think you're going to be fine. Okay, Taurian family members? Look forward to talking with you very, very soon.